Fox Sports.
We are Blackmore. We are Detroit.
Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is presented by
Bell Tire.
Michael Fulmer returns to the mound tonight as the Tigers return home from a short road trip. It is a gorgeous night for baseball here in the Motor City. Game one in this three-game set featuring the Detroit Tigers and the Cleveland Indians. Hi again, everyone, and welcome to Tigers Baseball. Mario and Pemba, glad to have you with us tonight for the Tigers and Tribe. The Tigers celebrating Negro League weekend here at the ballpark today. We go down to Rod Allen, who just took part in the passing of the bat ceremony. And Rod, this will be a great series. Good matchup in game one here tonight. Fulmer and Bauer. This should be high octane.
Oh, no doubt about that, Mario. We got a couple of really good Friday night pitchers here. Of course, Fulmer is not pitching the way that he pitched his first couple of years in a Tigers uniform. We need to see him get back on track. And then when you start talking about Bauer, here's a guy that, man, he's pitching some outstanding baseball. He's only 4-4, but he's got a sub-3 ERA. He punched out 10 Tigers the last time we saw him. He throws lots of curveballs, so we should be ready for that tonight.
All right, we've got a lot of landmines in this Cleveland lineup to be sure, but we'll talk about Francisco Lindor and Jose Ramirez. These guys as a duo as good as it gets in the American League.
Well, both of these guys finished in the top 5 last year in the MVP voting. Ramirez was 3rd, Lindor was 5th. When you start talking about Lindor, this guy hit 33 home runs last year, which is a franchise record for the Cleveland Indians. He hits from both sides. He hits doubles. He hits triples. He steals bases. He's an outstanding offensive player. When you start talking about Jose Ramirez, this guy for me, Mario, and I don't know what you think, not only is one of the best switch hitters in the game, he's one of the best hitters in the game. He has torched Tigers pitching this year. Fulmer needs to stay away from this guy. Any chance he gets, don't mess with Ramirez. Just put him on base. Let him go down to first base. Let him steal a base if he wants to. But don't mess with these two guys tonight if you don't have to.
I don't know if you know this, Rod, but the game is minutes away. You better hustle back up here to the booth.
I'll be up there.
All right, after a short break, we'll send you down to the Coliseum Studios and check in with John Keating. Coming up here this weekend at the ballpark, we're celebrating the Negro Leagues. Negro League celebration all weekend here at Comerica. Tigers Tribe, game one in the series, coming up next.
Kroger. Visit Kroger.com for great deals, digital coupons, and more. By Comerica Bank, raise your expectations of what a bank can be. Come to Comerica. And powered by Ram Trucks, built to serve. A terrific evening for baseball in southeastern Michigan. Tigers and Indians coming up. John Keating, a quick pop back into the Call Sam studio. Keep this in mind, the Indians have not yet met the Rally Goose. You know, that charmed being that generated some charm for the Tigers in that just completed 8-4 homestand. In fact, the Tigers have won their last 6 series here at Comerica Park. Tonight, it'll be a battle of 2 tough right-handers who are each trying to find their way back to some happiness, trying to shake off tough starts in their last one. Michael Fulmer for Detroit, Trevor Bauer for Cleveland. First pitch, Mario and Rod coming right up.
For baseball, Tigers Tribes starting a 3-game series here. Michael Fulmer is on the hill for the Tigers, and he is presented by Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
And Michael Fulmer comes in with some elevated numbers, at least by his standards. He set the bar awfully high in his first 2 years in the big leagues. 4.73 ERA is rather high. Michael has that fastball that gets to 97. He's got the curve and the changeup. And if he mixes them all up today against a very good Indians lineup, he should be a winner here this evening, where he has not won since last July.
Yeah, this Tribe lineup is pretty good. They are presented tonight by the Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. And for Tito Francona, it's Lindor, Brantley, and Ramirez. 3 really good hitters at the top. They've got Encarnacion batting cleanup, then Alonso and Kipnis who's starting to come on. Chisenhall, Perez, and Allen, your bottom three tonight for Cleveland. And we are indeed ready for baseball here this evening. Michael Fulmer toes the slab. He will face Lindor to get things started here for Cleveland.
7 of the 9 batters tonight that Terry Francona has in his starting lineup will bat left-handed against Michael Fulmer.
Lindor is a switch hitter, batting lefty. And here we go. It's a strike called on Lindor. 296 this year. Lindor with 14 homers, 35 RBIs. The 0-1. Lindor battling it a bit right now. He's 0 for his last 11. Tribe come in first place in the American League Central Division, leading the Tigers by 4. There's a strike call. 1-2.
And that's what I'm talking about. Michael Fulmer needs to mix in all of his pitches real early. This looked like it was a changeup, exactly what it is. You see it come off the fingertips ever so slightly with some good tailing action.
2-2 now on Lindor.
Yeah, Lindor, 2-time All-Star. Outstanding shortstop. He's made 8 errors this year. He made 10 all of last season.
Lindor has apparently tightened it up, though, defensively. It's short. Last time we faced him, how many did he have?
7. Yeah.
So he's only committed 1 in the interim. Ground ball up the middle. They had him played nicely. There's Iglesias, 1 gone.
Iglesias at that shortstop position about as sure-handed as they get these days. Oakland University brings you the Tigers starting defense. Left to right, you've got Nico Goodrum getting the start in left field today. Leonis Martin, he's in center. Nicholas Castellanos, he's in right field. Third to first reads. Candelario Iglesias, Machado and the big fella. Miguel Cabrera anchored at first. And James McCann getting the starting nod behind the dish after getting last night off.
Here is Michael Brantley in the 2 slot for Cleveland. Brantley having a really good year. 10 homers, 39 RBIs, well above 300 as you look at the numbers on the Indian skipper, Terry Francona.
I think when it's all said and done, Terry Francona is going to end up being a Hall of Fame manager. I think his resume is very good.
I would agree with that. I think that he's had some very good teams at his disposal, but he has won a lot. .375 this year for Brantley versus the Tigers. He looks at a strike, 1-2.
He's healthy again, and when healthy, he provides a really nice number 2 hitter for Terry Francona. He can handle the bat. He can go the other way. He can pull the ball. Occasional power.
Chopped to the right side, knocked down by Cabrera. He falls down, and Brantley is aboard. Miguel came to a skidding halt and then landed on his belly.
Sometimes when you play off the line at first base, and of course the Tigers are like a lot of teams in the big leagues, they play well off the line at first. Miguel's off the line, and that ball right there pretty much right to Machado. Machado makes this play if Miggy doesn't knock it down, but it's hard for Miguel when you play that far off the bag to simply go to the first base bag and allow that second baseman to make that play. But it would have been a much easier play for Iglesias. For Machado.
It is a base hit for Brantley, and the Indians have their first base runner. Here is Jose Ramirez. And watch out for this guy. For whatever reason, obviously aside from his talent, his eyes light up against the Tigers. Ramirez started the season so slowly, but boy, has he come on. 19 homers. He'll sky this one in the air to shallow right field. Charging is Castellanos. 2 gone. That'll bring up Encarnacion.
And so far, Michael has used all of his pitches. He's used the slider, he's used the changeup, and that fastball, the velocity all the way up to 96. How was Beantown, partner? A short little trip over there.
Beantown was, well, it was good for the final day of the series.
Yeah.
We got a win yesterday. But Boston, as it typically is, will drain you in that ballpark. A couple of long games. Tigers battled, though, yesterday for the victory. Ball 1 to Encarnacion. Ron Gartenhire pleased to have his team back home because this is where they play their best baseball. Tigers have 20 wins at home this year. Big swing by Encarnacion, 1-1. Any way you look at it, Rob, the Tigers are going to have to level things out in terms of home road. They've got to win some more games on the road.
Yeah, they got to figure out a way to match the energy of the teams that they play against away from Comerica Park.
Two and one on the Indians DH. Fulmer, when he met the Indians earlier this year in April, they got him pretty good. He gave up 9 runs, 6 of those earned in 3 innings. Trying to straighten out those numbers here tonight against the Tribe. Swing and a miss, 2-2.
And the Tigers play Encarnacion to pull in the infield. They play him pretty much straight up in the outfield. He is a dead pull hitter. Just about everything that he makes contact with on the ground is to the left side.
Got him swinging. Down goes Encarnacion. First strikeout of the ball game for Michael Fulmer. We go to the bottom of the first. And here is the starting lineup for the Tigers here tonight, presented by the Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. Tigers have Martin, Castellanos, and Cabrera at the top of the lineup. Candelario is batting cleanup ahead of Victor in this ball game. Nico Goodrum is left, and you've got McCann, Iglesias, and Machado rounding it out. And it's going to be Trevor Bauer on the mound for the Tribe, presented by MGM Grand Detroit.
And the Tigers have already seen Trevor Bauer twice this year, and he has 2 of his 4 wins against Detroit. He comes in with a 2.77 ERA. He's got a great fastball, goes anywhere from 94 to 97. He's got a great curveball that he spins very well. He's got a good changeup. He's a really good pitcher. Tigers need to hit the first pitch fastball if Bauer decides to throw it to him.
So Leonis Martin will lead things off versus Bauer. And he swings to the first and lines it down the right field line. They'll go all the way to the wall. This will be extra bases, and Martin has a leadoff double.
Talk about jumping on the first pitch fastball. I see you, Leonis. Bauer will come at you with a lot of fastballs, and that one's right down the middle at 93, and Martin wasn't having any of that. Whistled right past a diving Alonso, their first baseman. He had no shot on it. That ball was hit hard.
Martin is now 6 for 8 against Bauer in his career.
The exit velocity on that screaming line drive off the bat of Martin registered at 109 miles an hour.
Here is Castellanos. Nick had 4 hits in that series in Boston. Looks at ball 1 from Bauer.
And Nick can handle the bat, and with a runner on second base, Nicholas will be trying to drive something into that right center field gap or drive something right past the first baseman Alonso on the right side of the infield.
Castellanos 33 RBIs this year. Now the 1-0 in there for a strike.
Yeah, you see how far Alonso is off the first base line here. That's a long way to go here, but most right-handed hitters do not hit the ball down in that direction, although we have seen Nicholas go down in that right field corner when he has that much room down that first base line, excuse me.
In the air toward left field, hit well. Brantley is on the move, still going up against the wall. This will get a run in. Castellanos is on his way to second, sliding in with a double, and the Tigers have back-to-back 2-base hits and a 1-0 lead.
Nicholas Castellanos, even when he gets out in front sometimes with the body, he still keeps the hands back long enough, and he keeps the bat in the strike zone a long time on this breaking ball. Look how long his bat stays in the strike zone, and even though he's off balance, he's still able to barrel that ball up, and it bounces off the warning track and short hops the gate in left field. He's an outstanding hitter, and he really clobbers breaking balls. That's one of the things that we've been talking about the last number of days regarding Nicholas Castellanos. His batting average against left-handers and also breaking balls is right around 350.
Now Miguel Cabrera, still nobody out, and Miggy fouls it back. A couple of starts ago for Bauer, he faced the Tigers, went 8 innings, 4 hits, no runs. Well, the Tigers already have a run and 2 hits.
Bauer has 4 outings this year where he has punched out at least 10 batters. As a matter of fact, in his last 2 outings, he has punched out 13 Houston Astros and 11 Minnesota Twins. So he has had that strikeout pitch working for him lately.
The 0-1. Up top, Miggy couldn't catch up. Alan Trammell, by the way, is our first base coach tonight for the Tigers. Ramon Santiago is still away for the birth of a child. So the special assistant to the GM, number 3, is in the coaching box at first. 0-2 on Cabrera. Got him swinging with a breaking ball, 1 gone.
Hey, let's take a look at the Cleveland Indians starting defense behind Trevor Bauer. In left field, they've got Brantley. Center field, they got the speedster Allen. Right field, Chisenhall, who just came back off the disabled list. In the infield, you know they've got some talent on the left side with Ramirez and Lindor. Kipnis and Alonso on the right side, and Roberto Perez, the catcher tonight, catching Trevor Bauer.
Lindor, one of the top shortstops in all of baseball, again having a fabulous year. Here is Jeimer Candelario. He is going to bat 4th in the ball game tonight. That run by Bauer allowing here in the first inning, the first inning run he's given up all season.
What?
That is the first time all season.
Really?
And it didn't take long. Martin and Nick with doubles. Candy waits on the 0-1.
And before this year, the Tigers pretty much had their way against Trevor Bauer. He had not had much success at all. He had given up a lot of hits and a lot of runs. But he figured out something this year. And this year he's been very good against Detroit. In 15 innings, he's only given up 2 earned runs. Make that 3 earned runs there coming into the game.
Well, here's one thing to consider when you look at the numbers of Bauer. He has gone better than 100 pitches in every single start this year.
So he's going to be out there for a while.
Well, he is. You wonder how his workload is going to transpire as the season progresses. He threw 127 pitches in his last start. That ball skied in the air, popped up on the infield. The first baseman Alonso candy has gone 2 away.
Do you think that has anything to do with the fact that possibly their bullpen is not as strong as it has been in the past? As we get a look at some of the ranks for American League starters.
Yeah, I think it's a great point, Rod. And I think that's something the Indians are going to have to deal with in the second half. I mean, how many times have you seen a guy that is not throwing a no-hitter lay out there for about 130 pitches?
No, not often.
No. So Bauer, although they say is willing to go as long as the manager wants him to go. He has certainly been a workhorse this year. Here is Victor now with 2 outs. Martinez DHing, batting in the 5 slot, 0 for his last 11.
The 127 pitches just happened to be against the Houston Astros, a team that Bauer has been beefing with. Some verbal words.
That slice toward left field on the charge. Brantley, he's not going to get there. Yeah, I didn't even put that together. That's true.
Yeah, 127 that day. So he probably told Terry Francona, whatever you do, don't come out here and get me because I'm on a mission today. That's the 13th strikeout game, wasn't it?
Yeah, it is. and that took up probably a good portion of those pitches.
Yeah, he and Garrett Cole played collegiately at UCLA, and it's been well known now that they weren't good friends, and they matched up that Sunday. And he got the better of his former teammate, college teammate.
Whatever you do, don't come and get me. I'll stay out here a while. 0-1 on V-Mart. Lifted in the air to center field. It's going to be playable for Allen, who runs it down. And the Tigers will settle for 1 run. If they take the lead, quickly a double to start things off for Martin, and Nick drives him in. 1-0 Detroit. To a very quick lead on the Indians tonight. It'll be Yonder Alonso to lead things off. Alonso, Kipnis, and Chisenhall facing the right-hander Michael Fulmer. Showing bunt. Alonso yanks it back. Strike 1. Yonder batting .240. He's hit 11 homers this year. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Drilled to center field on a line. Martin is there. 1 away. Hey, Menards brings you the big money encounter. Want to look at the Central Division here for the Cleveland Indians. They lead the Central with only a .533 winning percentage. And when you look at the lowest winning percentage to win the Central recently, the Twins in 09. .534. So I know the Tribe, Rod, have been playing a lot better lately, but they just have not been able to totally put it together.
No, they haven't. They have not played the way that most people thought they would play at the beginning of the season. A lot of people predicted this team to get back to the World Series again.
Jason Kipnis is the Cleveland batter. You know, a lot is made about all of the relievers that have struggled for Cleveland this year, and of course they're without Brian Shaw, who signed elsewhere. How much do you think they miss Carlos Santana?
They miss Carlos Santana as well at first base. I mean, a switch hitter with power that could do what he did. He could walk a lot. He was a great teammate. He grew up in the Cleveland Indians organization. He was quite the leader on that team. So I don't think they miss him as well.
And he seemingly had good games always against the Tigers as well. 1-2 the count on Kipnis.
I know a lot of people have talked about the fact that they do miss Shaw, and I do believe they miss Shaw, but I think they missed the Shaw that pitched there the 3 prior years, not the Shaw this year. And I thought that Shaw and his agent got a lot of money from Colorado, and I don't think Cleveland wanted to pay him that much money, especially with the workload he had in their uniform. So, I mean, granted, I know they miss him, but nobody else picked up the slack for Shaw. He got a lot of money to go to Colorado.
Yeah, he sure did, and certainly I think you'd much rather pitch in Cleveland than Colorado's ballpark.
No question. His ERA is 9 in Colorado.
Yeah.
But I thought they made the right decision. I mean, by not signing him to a 3-year deal. But they have to get somebody else to step up in his absence.
Little chopper back up the middle. Iglesias on the move. And there are 2 gone. By the way, stay tuned to Tigers Live. Following the game, we'll be selecting the Fox Sports Detroit Tigers player of the game, presented by McDonald's. Mentioning Shaw, he had 79 appearances last year.
70-something the year before that, too.
And 70 the year before that. And in 2014, 80 appearances. So there were a lot of innings logged on that arm.
And the Indians knew that, and they weren't about to give him a 3-year contract.
Strike 1 on Lonnie Chisenhall, who is off the disabled list. What do we got here on this hairdo for Lindor?
Well, when you're as good as Francisco is, I guess you could do whatever you want to do to your hair. I have no idea what it is, though.
Interesting color palette that he's chosen.
Yeah. Last time we saw Francisco Lindor, he didn't have any hair at all because he shaved it off because he made a bet with his high school team. If they went undefeated, he would shave his hair, and he showed up and he shaved his hair after their team went undefeated.
Got to admire him for that. Paid off his debt. 1-2. Inside, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Good fastball at 97. I'd like to see Michael do a little bit more of that to a lot of these left-handed hitters in the lineup tonight. If you're just joining us, 7 of the 9 hitters that Michael will face today will be batting left-handed against him.
Got him, strike 3. He knew it. And a 1-2-3 inning, second strikeout of the ball game for Fulmer.
Field today for the annual passing of the bat ceremony that happens annually every Negro Leagues weekend. And there's Jake Woods. I was able to sign the bat as well for a young man by the name of John Malcolm, who goes to Detroit Country Day School. He's about 6'4", 200 pounds. He's headed to Vanderbilt. But what we do is everybody signs the bat, and they just kind of pass it on to the young man as he ventures out for his career. Jake Woods, Willie Horton, Simo, Nico Goodrum was down there as well, along with Torrey Hunter.
John Malcolm was a rather large young fellow.
They say he was the top-rated high school first baseman in the country, and he would have gotten drafted rather high, but he told scouts, and he told all the scouts, that he was going to college. And his parents are well off. His parents are physicians, and they wanted him to have an education.
Can't blame him.
No, absolutely not.
0-1 the count on Nico. 0-2.
And here's where Bauer sometimes likes to go to that breaking ball down at the bottom of the strike zone. It's a legitimate swing and miss pitch for him. He can really spin it.
On the outside corner, strike 3. 2 punch-outs now for Trevor Bauer. Hey, if the Tigers combine for 3 or more home runs in this game, you know what to do. Get a copy of the box score, bring it to a participating Arby's location tomorrow. Free small order of curly fries will be yours. Tigers got a run in the first on back-to-back doubles by Martin and Castellanos. Bauer has settled in since. James McCann will step in now. Looking forward, by the way, to getting to the 3rd inning tonight when Torrey Hunter will join us in the booth. Torrey being honored with the Legacy Award this weekend here at Comerica.
Had a luncheon here today at the ballpark, and I've been coming to the annual Negro League luncheons every single year pretty much since I've been broadcasting games here in Detroit. And today's crowd was by far the biggest crowd ever to welcome back Torrey Hunter. And he only spent 2 years in a Tigers uniform, but the impact that he made here in the city, unbelievable.
Torrey did not disappoint this afternoon either. Here's the 2-0 pitch and a swing and a miss. 2-1 now on James McCann. Mac 0 for 6 in that series against the Red Sox. Tigers dropped 2 out of 3, and Boston but won the final game yesterday. Here's a drive to right field, slicing toward the corner. It's going to be caught there by Chisenhall. 2 gone. That'll bring up Jose Iglesias, which also brings us to the Bernstein advantage. Iggy is a guy that really just does not strike out all that much. In fact, he's fanned 2 times in his last 70 plate appearances.
That's why I took him and picked a stick today. He's banging. He's hitting .429 against Bauer, and he doesn't strike out very often. So I'm hoping that Iggy can continue to play the way that he's been playing in the month of May and into June. Man, he's been getting it done on both sides of the ball.
Well, when you look at the start that he got off to, it's good to see him pick up in the month of June. 320 this month. He was around 200 most of the first month of the year. Bauer had him backing out there, and the count is 0-2.
Bauer has already thrown a couple of breaking balls that he has started at the right-handed hitter, and he has frozen the right-handed hitter, and they've given up on that breaking ball and taken it for a strike.
Wouldn't chase, and the count now is 1-2.
He also has that really good curveball, the harder curveball that he likes to bounce with 2 strikes.
Now Bauer with the 1-2 pitch. Soft line drive to left, and it'll drop in, base hit. Wide turn, Iggy going for 2. Here's the throw to second, and he is safe.
Look out, Iglesias.
A hustle double for Jose Iglesias. He had double on his mind immediately.
And the only reason why he got it, Mario, he thought double as soon as he left that batter's box. It looked like it was another off-speed pitch that he got out in front of. He hit it in the left center field gap. And before Michael Brantley could get there, Iglesias turned on the Jets and had a really good slide and able to get in there just ahead of the tag by the second baseman, Kipnis.
2-out chance now for Dixon Machado. Tigers have their third hit of the evening. Machado 2 out of 7 in the Boston series. Strike called 0-1.
A lot of first pitch fastballs thrown by Bauer. At least the first time through the order. Yeah, but he throws that fastball about 50% of the time. And that curve about 30%. And the other, that's changeup in the slider.
0-2 on Dixon.
If you're Iglesias on second base, as many breaking balls as Bauer throws, you always have to anticipate that he might bounce one. And if that's the case, you get over to third base, a little closer to scoring.
That'll sail outside 1-2. Opponents this year batting just 166 versus the Bauer breaking ball.
And here's the usage for Bauer this year against the Tigers. 50% with the fastball, 4-seam, and the cutter. And you saw the other numbers on his other 3 pitches.
Did not go.
See, that's the nastier breaking ball right there. That's the one he wants to get the strikeout with. One he throws just to get over the plate. That's usually on the first pitch of an at-bat, or to get even in the count after he's fallen behind. But once he gets ahead, he really spins that ball.
Machado trying to drive in a 2-out run. Tigers lead 1-0. Game 1 in this 3-game weekend set between the top 2 teams in the Central. Now the 2-2. Ball high, wouldn't chase. 1-2 or 3-2.
Nice job by Dixon getting back in the count after falling behind 0-2.
So what do you got Bauer doing here now in 3-2?
Well, if he throws a fastball, he knows Dixon's going to put it in play somewhere, and there's a runner in scoring position, so he might go to a breaking ball to get him off balance, try to get a strikeout.
Up and in. Threw him a fastball at 97 that missed.
He overthrew it.
Tigers have 2 men on.
And that was a problem. He overthrew that fastball.
It's going to bring up Martin.
Well, first pitch of the game was a 93-mile-per-hour fastball that Martin jumped all over. Martin hitting about 800 against this dude, Mario.
He sure is. Leonis now 6 for 8 against him.
You think he put on his limo hat today and went and picked him up in the car? Huh?
You mean Martin?
Yeah.
To Bauer?
Yeah. You think he went to the hotel and picked him up in Birmingham?
Make sure Bauer got here, no problem.
Yeah.
So Leonis with a 2-base hit after a 3-hit series in Boston, including his 8th home run. It was a first-inning home run yesterday at Fenway.
You know what I've noticed about Leonis, Mario, and he's only been there for a couple of months. He's streaky. When he gets hot, he rolls.
And he's on one of those streaks right now, it appears.
Yeah, when he gets hot, man, at that top of the lineup, man, he can stir up some stuff.
Martin was the everyday leadoff man for the Tigers until recently Ron Gardenhire decided to drop him in the lineup against lefties.
Homered yesterday against a lefty.
He did.
Chokes up ever so slightly on that bat.
Martin batted 7th last night, homered against the rookies Jalen Beeks. The Tigers scored 5 in the first. Pulled foul just outside of the bag.
Watch out, Alan Trammell.
I have a feeling Tram could, if he wanted to, still have picked that ball. He's so good.
He's got to stay out of the way, though. He's got a big speech coming up soon.
Don't want to mess with that.
No.
Hall of Famer Alan Trammell.
Sounds good.
Now Bauer with the 1-1. 1-2 now on Martin.
That was a cutter there. He's got the 4-seam fastball, and he also has a cut fastball that does not have as much break as the slider, but it slides ever so slightly into that strike zone. It might have been a slider that backed up.
Here's the 1-2 offering. Did he go? Yes, he went around. Martin caught looking to end the inning. Third strikeout for Bauer. Tigers will strand 2. When we come back, it's going to be fun. Torrey Hunter joins us in the booth right after this. The top of the third here at Comerica Park, celebrating Negro Leagues weekend here at the ballpark. It's always great to have Torrey Hunter, who, by the way, is being honored with the Legacy Award, the Willie Horton Legacy Award on Sunday. Torrey, welcome back to the Motor City. It's kind of like you never left, man. Looks like you can still play, too. So,
yeah,
how you been keeping busy?
Just try to keep this body for my wife. That's all.
Boy.
Well, that didn't take long.
He's been trying to build up some points all day.
Yeah, that's the brownie points I need to get my wife. And yeah, man, I'm glad to be back here, and I got a chance to go in the clubhouse and talk to some of my old teammates, and it's just a great feeling to be in there and see some of the people I hadn't seen in a long time and have conversations and with you guys. With you guys.
Well, what does the Legacy Award mean to you? And you're going to receive that award on Sunday, and then tell us what that means for you.
It means a lot, man. You talk about guys like Lou Whitaker and Curtis Granderson, Rajay Davis, and Austin Jackson. All these guys have gotten this award before me. I'm just honored to be mentioned amongst those guys, and that's a great distinguished award for me. And even on the other side, I was able to see that award given to these guys.
How about the guy that the award is named after, though, Willie Horton? I know he's meant a lot to you in your career. So what does it mean to you to be getting that award named in his honor?
Oh, man, it means a lot. Even when I was with the Twins early on in my young career, I would be over on the visiting side, and Willie Horton would come over and talk to me about hitting and telling me I need to, do this with my money, save my money, and leave a legacy. I mean, Willie was always on me, even though I was the enemy on the other side, and just to come over here and play with the Tigers and get a chance to really get to know Willie. He's like my uncle, and we talk still a lot, and just to get that award, in his name, I mean, it's pretty awesome.
By the way, we were just in Boston the last 3 days, and I ran into the cop that would not help you when you flipped into the bullpen, and I gave him the evil eye for that. It was just a
You made him a star.
Man, come on.
Amazing, man. All I did was take the extra step that no one else would take, and took sacrificed my body just to get that ball, and they made a poster out of it.
Iglesias will camp under this one, and there are 2 gone now.
Had a nice conversation with Rajay Davis today, Tori, and he said some of the same things that a lot of people have said about you today. He said you were so giving of your time. He said you helped out the pitchers and the position players with anything in the clubhouse. He said you and Austin Jackson used to put on a show down there, though. So he said, Rajay said, man, he really appreciated spending that 2 years here, and he said that was one of the best years he ever had, the year he played with you.
Oh, man, Rajay, man, and Austin, those guys were great, man. They always came to me. We talked. I had a lot of stories. I was there before those guys, and I was able to give them some of that wisdom that was given to me.
Fulmer has a quick inning. Tori, if you don't mind, we'd like to keep you around for another half inning. Is that all right?
Oh, I have no problem at all.
All right. We'll be back with Torrey Hunter, 1-0 Tigers. We go to the bottom of the third, 1-0 in favor of Detroit, joined by Torrey Hunter for another half inning, who's being honored with the Legacy Award here this weekend, a Negro Leagues weekend here at Comerica Park. I want to bring in Craig Monroe as well. And Simo, you guys were having fun during the break here. You guys get along pretty well, don't you?
Oh, yeah, no, that's big brother there, guys. And again, when you talk about giving up your time, being a big brother to not only me, to a lot of the players, not just black, white, he's that guy, man. He's a special, special man.
Tori, what did you tell Nick Castellanos this year? Because apparently he came and spent some time with you in the offseason, and he's turned into quite the leader. He's having another outstanding season as a baseball player. But you guys spent some time together in the offseason. What was that like?
Yeah, he came down to Dallas, man, to stay with me in the offseason. I guess he was here for the Tigers caravan, and he left from here, came straight to Dallas and hung out with me for about 7 days. And he asked so many questions, man. That's one thing I like about him. He reminded me of Mike Trout. Mike Trout was one of those guys who asked a lot of questions, and that's, guys that ask a lot of questions always learn everything. Right. And Nick is that guy. He's that guy. The kids that are in the back seat, they say, "Are we there yet? Are we there yet?" Nick is that guy. And when he came in, man, we just embraced him. He worked out with me. We hit a lot. We went to the outfield, went to the local high school in Prosper, Texas, and we worked in the outfield. He and Torrey Jr. and we just worked on the fundamentals of the game of playing the outfield. So
that's so cool.
Hey, Torrey, also I got a chance to talk to Nick. Nick's one of my favorites on the team, and we built a pretty good relationship. And one of the things that he told me that he wanted to learn and he wanted to talk to you about was how to be a leader. And I remember the conversation me and you had about, you have, everybody's different, and you have to, 25 guys, 24 guys on the team, you have to know what makes each one of these guys click. Give me a little bit of that conversation and why you've been such a great leader on every team that you've been on.
You know what? When you're a leader, you're chosen. And it's something that I didn't go into a clubhouse and say, I'm the leader of this clubhouse. These guys just choose you. I just tried to get to know each and every last one of those guys and learn what they can and can't do, what they can take and what they can't take. Mickey got a hit, by the way.
Well, he was already gone and picked the stick.
And so it's just, just to lead, you must first serve. Get to know your players and know what you can do to pump those guys up to get the best out of them. Some guys you got to, get to them and stronghold them. And some guys you got to come to them soft and sensitive. And you just got to get to know your guys. And they all tick differently.
Hey, Torrey, I want to know, did Castellanos just sleep on your couch in the basement, or did you give him his own room?
I got him his own room. It's called the 3-day room. So he slept in a room for 3 days, and then he had to go to the next one because you only can stay in my bedrooms for 3 days, man.
Then you got to get out.
Hey, guys, hold on now. You go to Torrey's house, though. He's got a compound, by the way.
Yeah.
And so I'm sure Nick had his pick of any room he wanted to sleep in because he's got a bunch of them.
Yeah, it's Texas. Everything's big in Texas.
Hey, Torrey, I want to ask you about Ron Gardenhire, the manager here, and he has done, a marvelous job. You played for him for several years. How much did he make a difference in Minnesota for you guys? Because we think he's made all the difference in the world here.
Man, you know what? Tom Kelly had us my first 4 to 5 years, and Gardy was the third base coach. But Gardy was always the one everybody went to.
Right,
and,
like the buddy on the team.
Yeah, he was the buddy on the team, the players, coach, and once he became the manager in 2002 and we won the division, we had so much fun. Gardy, I said earlier, Gardy was one of the guys, he would bring me a pen and a baseball and say, could you sign this for my friend? And you grab the pen and you're like shocked. You're like, he has like this gadget of a pen that shocks you. And you're like, man, you couldn't trust nothing that he was talking about. But he was so much fun. He's the guy you don't want to, fail. You want to go out there and play hard for him because he has so much fun with the players and has a relationship with the players. And he knows how to take care of the young guys.
Mm-hmm. Torrey, that 2013 team, we talked to Leland about this, and we both agree, and I know Rod agrees, that was one of the best teams Tigers had in a long time. And you guys really had a great ball club that year.
Yeah, we did, man. We had a great ball club. The chemistry, camaraderie, man, the fun we had, Verlander, Scherzer, Miguel Cabrera, Prince Fielder, Austin Jackson. We sat in there in that clubhouse and cried. We were laugh till we tear up. And we go into the game, we're feeling refreshed, and we just played the game, and we kind of built that chemistry throughout the season and was able to win the division and go on to the ALCS. That turned out, not in our favor, but we did have a great ball club, one of the best ball clubs I ever played on.
3-2 the count on Jamer Candelario here with the Tigers up by a run. And that is swung on and missed. Well, we had a chance to talk to Ron Gardenhire before the game today. We asked him if he had any specific memories of Torrey Hunter, and here's what Gardy had.
I called my radio show one time. This was a good one. I had a Sunday morning radio show, call-in show. Sitting in my office, I'm doing it right out of my office, and he calls in and it says, this is Little Luther from North Minneapolis, and I want to know why you don't have more black players on your team. So I'm going, oh my, what do I do? Started thinking, and then all of a sudden I hear some chuckling in the clubhouse. So I said, Torrey, get off the phone.
Little Luther.
I'll never forget that.
That's a great story there, T.
Gardy had a radio show, and someone called in and asked him, how can we get African Americans to play the game? And he kind of gave his answer. Then I called in. I said, this is Little Luther. This is Little Luther from North Minneapolis. And he just kind of messing with him. And you can hear him take a big swallow like. And
how do I answer this?
Yeah, how do I answer this? We had a lot of fun together, man.
He said he told you to go out and buy some bats and some balls, you and Jock Jones, and you guys did that. You guys helped a lot of inner city kids get involved in baseball.
Oh, yeah. He was one of the reasons why we got into the community. He pushed us out there, said they need to see you. They need to see you that you care, and that's what we did. We went out there and did what we had to do.
Torrey, always great to see you,
man. Love you, buddy.
Hey, good to see you guys, man. Miss you guys and miss all the fans, man. Love you.
All right. Torrey Hunter, the great Torrey Hunter, receiving an award here on Sunday. Here at Comerica Park, it's a 1-0 game. The Tigers have the lead. Michael Brantley will lead things off versus Michael Fulmer. Tigers got a run in the first. It has held up so far, and our thanks to Torrey Hunter, who stopped in. Always fun to chat with Torrey.
No doubt.
And he'll be honored with the Legacy Award coming up on Sunday here. Negro Leagues weekend at the ballpark. Brantley looks at a ball low, 2-0.
And so far, Michael Fulmer pitching a pretty good job, doing a pretty good job through the first 3 frames, 39 pitches, 23 strikes, 16 balls.
Here's the 2-0, and it's a strike call, 2-1.
Michael Fulmer has had his foot on the gas pedal as well. Look at that. 78% with his fastball here today so far. Only 8% with that slider, and he's using that changeup against all these left-handed batters.
Now 2-2. Brantley, Ramirez, Encarnacion. In the 4th inning for the Tribe, they have been limited to 1 hit, infield single. And it was Brantley that hit that ball to the first baseman Cabrera, tried to make a diving play on it. Sliced foul the other way.
97 with that fastball. And ball coming out of Michael Fulmer's hand very nicely here tonight. And he looks like he's on a mission. Michael's had a difficult time getting through the lineup the 3rd time through. Difficult time getting through the 7th inning so far this year. As a matter of fact, when we were in Ron Gardenhire's office today, that was most of the conversation, was Michael Fulmer and how can he push through that 6th and 7th inning.
Well, his ERA in the 6th inning is north of 8, so it's that swing 6th inning to the 7th that has been a little bit of a hurdle for Michael. Pulled on the ground, but to right at Machado. 1 away.
Let's take a look at our Bell Tire pitch by pitch. We told you Michael Fulmer has thrown 78% fastball so far today, and he's moved the fastball all around the strike zone. Some up and in, some up and away, down and in, down and away, and lots of soft contact so far off of the bats of this Cleveland Indians team that can really hit. But it looks like the game plan, at least so far today for Michael, is to try to overpower them with fastballs.
Jose Ramirez takes strike 1. Fulmer, in that last start that he had in April against the Indians, in which he gave up 9 runs, did not have a swing and a miss. He's had 4 swings and misses in this game, and he's got a fastball in the upper 90s, 97-ish for his fastball range. Ramirez flying to right field in his only at bat.
Take a look at Ramirez's hot and cold zone as he unleashes a 98-mile-per-hour fastball, does Michael Fulmer. You want to go low against him. Most left-handed hitters love the ball low, but you can see he does most of his damage around the belt buckle and the top of the strike zone, not so much at the bottom of the strike zone.
Fulmer has not won here in a long time at Comerica. Got to go back to last year, and for Fulmer, it's kind of amazing when you look at the stuff that he's had. Now, he has pitched in some bad luck as well the last couple of years. Run support has not always been there.
Yeah, but July of 2017, still a long time in between victories here at Comerica Park for Michael.
Hard to believe. Swing and a miss. And Ramirez is gone. 3rd strikeout for Fulmer.
98 with that heater.
This Sunday, June 10th, Tigers host the Indians at 1:10. Come out early and enjoy a pregame fan Q&A with Torrey Hunter. It's at 11:30 a.m. in the Comerica Park Concourse. If you'd like tickets, call 866-66-TIGER. Go to tigers.com. You're not going to want to miss that Q&A. I'm sure it's going to be as entertaining as his trip to the booth just was. Here's ball 1 to Encarnacion. strikeout victim in the first. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Yeah, we usually talk about Michael Fulmer and his fastball hovering around 95, but he's wrapped it up a little bit here today. Yeah, most of his fastballs are 97 and 98.
Ten straight retired by Fulmer. He's gone ahead of Encarnacion here, 1-2. And Edwin's been hot, man. He's got 15 RBIs in his last 12 games. Had a really good month of May. He has had a strong month of June early on here. 2-2.
He has thrown very few breaking balls in this inning. Everything fastball, fastball, fastball.
Fulmer now with the 2-2. Slice to right center. It's going to get down a base hit. Martin over there to cut it off, and Encarnacion with a 2-out single. Only the second hit for the Tribe.
Oh, he threw Encarnacion all fastballs, and Encarnacion is a good fastball hitter. He takes that fastball away and simply goes with the pitch. He does not hit a lot of balls into right field, but that time he did.
So with 2 outs, here is Yonder Alonso. Line to center field in his only at bat. Ball 1. Alonso now 2 for his last 19. Two balls and no strikes.
It's the first off-speed pitch that Michael has thrown in a while. And that was a changeup.
Indians have had a boatload of success versus the Tigers last 2 years since the start of 2017. They're 18-8 against the Tigers. That's driven toward the gap in right center field. Looks like trouble. It's going to go all the way to the wall. Encarnacion is going to come around third base. They'll send him home. He will score. Alonso on his way to third is going to get caught in a rundown now. And they'll tag him out.
Where was he going?
I have no idea. But the Tigers will take that break. Alonso will get an RBI and a double, and it's a 1-1 game.
Let's take one more look at the double off the bat of Yanzer Alonso into the right center field gap. It's a fastball, and it's about 97. Michael threw a lot of fastballs in the mid-90s. You see Encarnacion coming around third base. That piano jumps on his back about right there. He started slowing down, and then Yanzer Alonso, I don't know what he is thinking, but he clearly ran himself into the third out of the inning when it looked like Encarnacion was going to score rather easily.
The only thing I can think is the ball trickling off the glove, the cutoff man, and perhaps he thought he could get to third. That's in the air to shallow left field. Brantley comes on to make the play, and Goodrum is out. One away here in the fourth. It'll bring up McCann. Craig Monroe joins us now from down in the field. And Simo, what'd you see on that play with Alonso, and why you thought perhaps he tried to get to third base on that play?
I'm going to be honest with you guys. I have no idea why Alonso would go there. That's just not smart base running as far as I'm concerned. He was already in scoring position. And so you have to give the hitter an opportunity to drive you in. So for that reason, he kind of ran himself out of that inning.
Hey, see, were you behind home plate right there for that inning right there while Michael was pitching?
I was for a little bit.
It looked like to me he just got a little bit fastball happy. Yes, he threw some fastballs by these Indians hitters, but he threw majority fastballs in that inning, and I think he works so much more efficiently when he mixes in a breaking ball and mixes in a changeup to keep our guys off balance. What did you see from back there?
Well, I definitely agree with you. He did kind of get fastball heavy, but again, right, he's got 95 to 97 with that particular pitch. It's got tremendous sink action on it. And I just felt like if he keeps it down in the zone, he might have gotten away with a couple more of those pitches. But you're right, he's got to mix in that breaking ball, slider, and he's also got to go to the changeup. But so far, so good. I like the adjustments that he's making, because it looks like to me he is making it a point to stay down at the bottom of the zone.
Meanwhile, McCann strikes out, 2 gone.
And meanwhile, Bauer, he's kind of started to heat up now. He's got 6 strikeouts. And Bauer, when he gets ahead with that fastball and then expands it to the outside corner with that slider, man, it's a good pitch for him.
Look at the bottom fallout when he gets in the hitting zone. That's what makes that pitch for me, Rod, so effective.
Yeah.
Guys, he's been their most consistent pitcher behind the ace of this staff, which is Corey Kluber.
But Simo, he has thrown over 100 pitches in every start this year, and you wonder if the workload will eventually catch up not only to him but to many of their starters.
Well, as a hitter, that's what we hope. We know early in the season, April, May, even June, guys are going to be crisp. They're going to have that nice depth on their breaking balls. They're going to be sharp. Fastballs are going to get up on you. But then towards the end, July, August, the dog days we call it the summer, that's when the hitters start to feast on them. So Terry Francona's going to have to do a good job of making sure these guys stay rested.
What were those numbers that we had on Justin Verlander a few years back? I mean, did he go like 60-something games with over 100 pitches? I mean, there was some kind of stat he had. What did it was like 60-something games in a row Verlander had some kind of stat going, and I thought maybe over 100 pitches in the game or something like that. Somebody will remember that.
Well, if anybody could do it, Verlander could. He was a horse.
Yeah, I remember what it was about Verlander, but it was a long, long stretch of games where he maybe had pitched 100 pitches or something like that.
1-2 on Iglesias. Hickey had a double with 2 outs in the second, but did not score.
And Bauer has 6 strikeouts, but he's tough to strike out. Sorry about that, partner.
I'm just going to ask you, Simo, Bauer gave it up to the Tigers last year, but this year it's been a much different story. Why, in your mind, is that?
Well, he's flipped the script on him, Mario, the way he approaches him. There's no doubt about that. I mean, I feel like he's just continuing to pitch backwards. He's throwing some firm fastballs and breaking ball counts. Breaking ball and fastball count.
Chop to third. Ramirez has it there, and Bauer a snappy 4th inning. 1, 2, 3 go the Tigers, and Tigers baseball presented by Bell Tire.
heroes, because no matter where you serve or when you served, we stand ready to serve all military families.
Well, we go to the 5th inning now. It is tied at 1. Michael Fulmer back at the hill. Jason Kipnis will lead it off for the Tribe. Cleveland tied it up with a 2-out double by Yonder Alonso in the 4th inning.
And Michael comes out with a first pitch changeup to Jason Kipnis after throwing a lot of fastballs in the top half of the 4th inning.
2-0. Fulmer had retired 10 straight, then a single by Encarnacion, a double by Alonso. Kipnis, Simo, is an interesting case because it wasn't long ago where this guy was a 300 hitter. I know he's dealt with some injuries recently, but not nearly the run producer he had been in the past. 2 balls and 1 strike. And he banged that one off his foot. Two and 2 on Kipnis.
I think injuries have played a big part in maybe the successes he's not had lately. But he has perked up a little bit. I know the batting average only at .204, but he has started to perform a little bit better for Cleveland. I was talking to Rajay Davis before the game today, though, and I was asking him what makes Francona such a good manager, and he says because he sticks with his players. He says even the young players, when they come up and they struggle, he continues to run them out there because the organization has a lot of confidence in them. And a guy like Kipnis, who probably could have lost his job earlier in the year, he's just continued to stick with him, and now Kipnis is performing a little bit better.
And Rod, also, I do believe this guy, when you miss a lot of time due to injury, and depending on what the injury is, it does affect your plate appearances, your bat speed. And I just think because Kipnis has dealt with so many injuries, he's a little bit behind these days for me.
Well, Fulmer fans him, his 4th strikeout of the game.
I think, Simo, and we already talked about that. I just think Michael Fulmer, when he pitches the way that he pitched against Kipnis, he is much more efficient. I mean, he threw him a lot of changeups and breaking balls, finally got the strikeout, versus coming out and throwing 97, 97, 98 every pitch. All of a sudden, this inning, he's gone to a lot of off-speed stuff. Maybe it was just that part of the lineup, I guess, maybe.
Well, guys, he's dominated so many hitters, so many lineups since he's gotten to the big leagues that he's kind of scuffled a little bit as far as he's concerned. He's also said that he was embarrassed of one of his outings. And I just feel like he's pitching today with a purpose. And sometime 96, 97, that was 97 right there, that he wants to get back and let people know that, you know, I am the bulldog that I say I am and I've proven to be. And he looks like he's got his foot on the gas, Rod.
Great point. Great point.
Fulmer gave up 4 runs in 6 innings in his last start. That was that outing against Toronto. Through 90 pitches. Here's the 2-1 to Chisenhall. 3-1.
And guys, he's also going against the Cleveland Indians. They are leading in the American League Central.
That's a good hitting team.
And they are a good hitting team, and so he knows that he's got to be at his best.
Looped in the air to right field. That'll drop in. Base hit for Chisenhall. 1-out single. Now we bring in Johnny Kane with a little more on Michael Fulmer.
Yeah, just to contribute to the conversation, you know, when you look at some of the numbers that Fulmer has, his velocity hasn't gone down when he gets in the 6th and 7th innings, but his production level has. He's holding opposing batters to a .225 average innings 1 through 5, but in innings 6 and 7, opposing teams are hitting about .390. We talked to Ron Garnier earlier today, and he says he doesn't think it's physical. He thinks it's a mental battle. It's something he's got to work himself through. It's not anything that the coaching staff or the catchers can do for him. He just feels like it's something mentally he has to get past. But, of course, speculation would be because of the ulnar nerve transposition surgery he had in September that there's maybe some lingering effects. But Gardy thinks he's healthy.
Here is a 6, a 4, and no 3. Beat it out at first base. Perez busting it down the line. And the Tigers unable to get the double play.
It's a nice job here by Iglesias, not rushing. The ball not hit all that hard, but Iglesias He takes his time, but once he gets it, he gets the ball over to Dixon Machado. He hits him right in the chest, right where his hands are, and it makes it easy for Dixon to turn it over, but they just couldn't get the double play because the ball was not hit hard enough.
Guys, just adding to what Johnny was talking about with Michael Foreman in the later innings where the batting average is increasing. I had a same conversation with Gardy about that, and he told me that he just feels like Foreman starts to elevate his pitches, and he doesn't work at the bottom of the zone, and he's gotten hurt because he's made some mistakes up and not over the plate.
See, is it possible that even a pitcher as talented as Michael Fulmer, can you go through stretches where you don't feel as confident as you think you should feel in a baseball field?
Oh, there's no question. I mean, he's human. And when you're not succeeding at the rate that you'll come accustomed to succeeding, the confidence is going to waver. It doesn't matter if you're playing baseball, in any job that you have. If you're not performing at your best, there's a little bit of doubt there.
Do you try to do too much, you think?
And I think that's what happens to me. That definitely happened to me as a player. You start pressing, you start trying to do a little bit too much.
0-2 on Greg Allen here as the Indians bat in the 5th inning.
And Mario Rod, I truly believe this, guys. Michael Foreman has some of the best stuff in the game today. There's no question about it. He's got a nasty wipeout slider. He's got a heavy sinking 96-mile-per-hour fastball. And he's got a plus changeup. That's 3+ pitches. And we've seen him dominate. He's just got to get back to trusting it. And it looks like today there's a lot of trust because he's throwing all of his pitches.
Well, what does it say about the game of baseball and how difficult it really is when you can be, I don't know, 15-year veteran or a rookie and still the confidence can be shattered?
Well, it just goes to show you how tough the game is. And I think a lot of times we put so much high expectation on Michael Foreman, and we forget that the guys in the batter's box are good hitters. These are the best hitters in the game. Like I always make the comparison. They drive Mercedes and Bentleys and all that too. And so we also got to give the hitters some credit. As great as Michael Foreman is, the hitters in the batter box continue to make adjustments. And if Michael Foreman makes a mistake, guys are able to barrel him up as well.
What did Jim Leland used to say? The other team gives out scholarships too.
That's right.
That's popped up. Right side of the infield, it's going to be Machado, and that will end the inning. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 man left. We go to the bottom of the 5th. Brought to you by the Sam Bernstein Law Firm, official legal services sponsor of Fox Sports Detroit. Bell Tire. For tires and auto service, everybody needs a Bell Tire guy. And by Chevrolet, the most awarded and fastest growing brand the last 4 years overall. Got a tight one here in game 1 in this series, Tigers and the Indians. We are all tied at 1 run apiece as we go to the bottom of the 5th, and Trevor Bauer climbs back on top of the hill.
If you're the Indians, you know that Michael Fulmer has brought his A game here today. You've watched him fill up the strike zone with 98-mile-per-hour fastballs, but you've also watched that pitch count rise to 75. And they're hoping they can get into that Tigers bullpen sooner than later and get Michael Fulmer out of the game. That's their game plan right now.
Meanwhile, Machado hitting here in the 5th, followed by Martin and then Castellanos. Easy hop for Ramirez. One gone. Well, if you can't catch the games on TV, you can stream them live on your mobile device with Fox Sports Go. Download the app and take Fox Sports Detroit and Tigers baseball with you wherever you go. It's brought to you by Miller Lite.
Yeah, that stat that I was trying to remember on Justin Verlander, that was very impressive. It was a stat that he had where he had pitched 6 innings or more in 60 some odd games. I forget what the final total was. 63, as a matter of fact.
Quite a streak.
Yeah.
Rod, JV's different, though. Let's be clear about one thing. He's different.
And he is having a fabulous year this year with the Astros.
He's pitching like he's 25 years old.
I mean, he truly is, and it's been mind-boggling. I'm like, he's just got this new, it's like a rebirth going to Houston. He's been phenomenal. I'm not surprised, though, guys. I've played behind him a couple years, and, man, fierce competitive. Man, some of the best stuff I've ever seen in the game.
The Tigers will not see the Astros until right before the All-Star break. They have a 3-game series in Houston. And then they see them in September here at Comerica.
Be nice and toasty.
July in Houston. That'll be fun. 1-2 on Martin.
I kind of enjoy the downtown area in Houston because it's close enough to you can walk to the ballpark, but if you walk outside, it's the last thing you're going to do.
Yeah.
Your suit will be dripping by the time you get to the ballpark.
It could be across the street and you're not going to walk to the ballpark. That's chop foul.
And the one thing I've noticed about Bauer, he came out throwing quite a few fastballs, but the last couple of innings he's thrown a lot of really good breaking balls. He's thrown breaking balls early. He's thrown breaking balls late.
Mario, Rod, what do you guys got on Martin now? It looks like he's back. The rhythm and the timing looks better. The swing has gotten shorter. Are you guys seeing that this is the catalyst that started the season?
I am. You know, I wonder going forward if Gardy will continue to bat him lower in the lineup against lefties. You think that'll continue?
I think so. I think it gives him a break too, because again, tough lefty on lefty is tough.
We still got a ways to go in the season, but it appears to me that Martin is quite streaky. And when he gets hot, man, he can carry a team. And we've watched him carry a team right before he went on the disabled list with the hamstring. Then he came back, and he wasn't quite himself because he didn't really have any at-bats while he spent that time on the disabled list. But now he's back in that groove again.
Yeah, if you watch him real close, Rod, the rhythm and the time and the front foot gets down in plenty of time to make good decisions.
Swing and a miss. He chased up top on 3-2 and strikes out. 7 strikeouts now for Bauer.
And the previous pitch was a breaking ball down and in. Then he comes back up top with 96 to get the swing and miss. And that's a four-seam fastball. And you can see the fingertips across the 4 seams on that baseball. That's what gets you the good spin as it approaches home plate. Those
Guys,
4-seam fastballs.
That's also changing eye levels. You go breaking ball to the bottom of the zone, and then you speed them up with 95 at the top of the zone. Tough pitch to lay off of, Mario. I've told you this a couple of times. That pitch is so close to you. It's so close to you. It's the closest pitch to your eyes. And you think you can get to that pitch at 95, 96, and you can't. You have to get them down in the zone. But I've tasted a million of those pitches up and struck out pretty much every time.
Bauer is 16 of 20 in first pitch strikes, and a guy that has the kind of stuff that he has, and if he's able to get that strike one on you, man, it makes it a very difficult at bat. It really does. This guy's got some good stuff. He's one of the better right-handers in baseball, stuff-wise.
Well, but it's only until this season where he seemingly has put everything together. Now, Bauer did have a good year last year, so let's not discount that. He had
17 games?
17 wins, yeah, but I don't know. He just seems to be a different guy.
I think what helps him, too, though, is he's pitching in the shadow of Corey Kluber.
Sure.
I mean, Corey Kluber is the ace of the staff, and a lot of guys that pitched on the same staff as Justin Verlander. They were better because of Justin Verlander, and I think Bauer is good because of Corey Kluber too.
He has just struck out Castellanos to end the inning. Simo, we'll see you on postgame. Thanks, buddy.
All right, guys. Thank you. Enjoyed it.
One in the series, and it's going to be the top of the order now. Francisco Lindor is leading things off, and here are some of the ranks among shortstops since 2016.
My goodness. He's one of the best, if not the best, two-way shortstop in the game.
Lindor is 0 for 2 in this game, now 0 for his last 13, so he's trying to bust out of it. Tough guy to do it against. Michael Fulmer drops in a strike.
He hit 33 home runs last year, which was a franchise record for home runs for a shortstop in Cleveland history. And he's on pace to hit 38 of them this year.
Lindor had a 2-homer, 2-double game back in the month of May against KC. 4 extra base hits in 1 game. The Indians had not had a leadoff man do that since Tito Francona in the 60s.
Yeah. Terry's daddy.
0-2 on Lindor. Lindor's first major league hit came in this ballpark. Now Fulmer's 0-2. On the ground to the second baseman, gobbled up there by Machado. 1 gone. Let's bring in Johnny Kane.
Mario, I mean this when I say it was a privilege, and you were there too, Rod Allen, today at the Negro League's Legacy Award Luncheon held at Comerica Park before today's game. Outstanding. Jake Wood was there. Pops Horton was in attendance. Obviously, Torrey Hunter being the, kind of the guest of honor, if you will, as he's going to receive the African American Legacy Award named on Willie Horton's behalf. But really great, deep dive into the history there, the impact of the game of this entire weekend. These next 3 days, we pay tribute to the Negro Leagues and those who paved the way for guys like Rod Allen, Craig Monroe, Nico Goodrum, the current player here with the Tigers. So it was awesome to be a part of. Rod, good to see you there as well, and I know you took something out of it too.
Absolutely. It was a great event. Of course, Torrey Hunter kept everybody in stitches when he was being interviewed by Dan Dickerson, but I really love the words that Ron Gardenhire had for Torrey Hunter. Of course, Ron Gardenhire knows Torrey more so than anybody. He said that Torrey Hunter taught him things about how to be a better man.
Michael Brantley, the batter, he'll roll one to the right side, and it's picked up there by Dixon, who throws him out.
Ron Gardenhire also had some fun with Torrey, talking about Torrey took his job in Minnesota as a special assistant to the general manager, so he had to come over here to manage the the Detroit Tigers.
Well, Torrey's going to have a fun weekend, that's for sure.
You can say he partially blamed Torrey for losing his job too. He said,
yeah, he did.
Torrey came to the Detroit Tigers. He left him high and dry. 2 seasons later, Gardy got the axe.
Yeah.
You know, what can you do?
You know,
They buried the hatchet, though.
I'm sure he said that. Obviously, that's in jest, but
No doubt.
it does speak to the kind of impact that Hunter has in the locker room. And certainly, when he left the Tigers, there was a presence that had left as well.
That's what Rajay Davis told me before the game when I was visiting with him down in the Cleveland clubhouse. He said that he was such a leader, and he said it wasn't just the position players. He said he was a leader to the pitchers. If he saw a pitcher that was tipping his glove or, you know, tipping or something like that, he would help the pitchers out too.
Here's a 1-1 pitch. Ripped right to Cabrera, who gloves it for a 1-2-3 inning for Michael Fulmer. 3 up, 3 down here in the 6th. That's played by Miguel Cabrera on the sizzling line drive.
It was a frozen rope. Tigers got on the board in the first inning on back-to-back doubles, one by Martin, the other one by Nicholas Castellanos, and the Cleveland Indians countered on a base hit by Yonder Alonso. That was a double in the right center field gap. That played it Encarnacion, and the rest has been done by both of the starting pitchers here tonight. Bauer has been on one. He has 8 strikeouts. He's only given up 4 hits, 1 earned run, 1 walk. And Michael Fulmer's been up for the challenge as well. His numbers are outstanding. He's punched out 4 through 6 frames today.
So Bauer goes back to the hill. Miguel Cabrera will lead things off.
And he got a first pitch, a curveball the last time he was up, and hit a bullet right back up the middle past Jason Kipnis.
Another bullet, this one to left field, a base hit to lead things off here in the 6th.
You cannot throw that little get me over breaking ball to Miguel Cabrera and expect him to take it. There are a lot of hitters that will be looking for a fastball in the first pitch from Bauer, and if you throw him a breaking ball, they will simply take it. But not Miguel Cabrera. His recognition skills are so great and superior. He sees that pitch up and he takes advantage of it.
Bauer had retired 8 straight. Here is Jeimer Candelario. Struck out in his last at bat. 8 strikeouts in the ball game for Bauer. Popped up foul back out of play. Kenny had that streak of reaching base in 28 consecutive ball games. That came to an end in the doubleheader on Monday against the Yankees. The 0-1.
Ooh, that breaking ball is dirty.
Candelario back in a game in April against the Indians, had a 3-double game. It'll bust inside, 1-2 the count. Candy tonight was elevated in the lineup above Victor Martinez. Victor had batted above him in the lineup until tonight. Jamer was 5, Victor 4. They have flip-flopped. 2-2 now the count.
I don't know for sure, but I have a feeling if Castellanos ever cools down in that number 2 spot, I think he'll put Candelario back in that slot. I thought the team worked very efficiently when Martin was at the top, Candelario was second. It also would allow Nicholas Castellanos to drive in a lot more runs.
He did not go.
Although these days, Mario, analytics tell the manager that the number 2 spot is reserved for the best hitter on the team.
Right.
On a lot of teams. Yep. And that's probably the reason why Castellanos is batting second. Mike Trout bats second. Machado bats second. There's a lot of great hitters in baseball that bat second.
Swing and a miss, and Jamer is out of there. Another strikeout, 9 of them now for Bauer. Tomorrow, don't miss the 24th annual Negro Leagues tribute game when the Tigers host the Indians at 4:10. Arrive early for a special on-field pregame salute to former Negro Leagues players, plus the first 10,000 fans receive a Detroit Stars cap courtesy of Comerica Bank. Go to Tigers.com for tickets. Our annual Negro Leagues weekend here at Comerica. And then on Sunday, Torrey will be honored with the Legacy Award, the Willie Horton Legacy Award.
Those Road Stars uniforms you guys wore in Kansas City were tight. Remember that?
Nice.
Yep. They were nice.
Yeah. I'm kind of partial to the home ones as well. Victor batting here with 1 on, 1 out.
And Victor has been known to take that ball down the left field line for a single when you give him that much room on the left side.
And a base hit just out of the reach of Kipnis. Cabrera rounding the bag at second. He's going to third. Here's the throw. It's off target. Otherwise, they had a shot at getting Miggy. First and third.
And Victor beats the shift. He also beat the shift yesterday in Boston, hit a ball just like that. Miguel Cabrera on first base. He recognized that Chisenhall was playing very deep, respecting the speed, the power, of Victor. And so he was able to get over to third base.
Tigers have 2 on now with 1 out, and Nico Goodrum.
And very important for Nico Goodrum to really concentrate here and to make sure he gets himself a good pitch to hit and gives himself a chance to hit something deep enough into the outfield to at least get Miguel in via the sacrifice fly. Bauer wants a strikeout.
Nico fanned in the second and flying out in the fourth. Tigers now have 6 hits and the Indians have 4. Fouled off. 1 ball, 1 strike on Nico. So Bauer now is up to 80 pitches. Again, we remind you that in his last start he threw 127, which is a season high for Bauer. In fact, twice he's been over 120. Now the 1-1. Curling low, 2-1. Jacoby Jones getting the night off tonight. He fanned 4 times in the ball game in Boston last night. So Ron Gardenhire felt that Jacoby needed a day off today. So he's watching the Rally Goose.
Yeah, kicking it over there with the Rally Goose.
Now the 2-1. Ooh, on the outer edge, 2-2.
And good fastball at 97.
McCann on deck. Fulmer has allowed 1 run on 4 hits tonight. That's it. Popped up foul out of play.
The 127 pitches, Mario, that you brought up that Bauer has thrown this year are the most in baseball by a starting pitcher, tied with Tyson Ross. But Tyson Ross was trying to throw a no-hitter when he threw 127 pitches that night.
Yeah, and that's really the only time you see a guy reach that elevation in pitches.
So your point is a valid point, the fact that he has thrown a lot of pitches already this year, over 100 in every start. 127, you just don't see it very often these days.
No, but I think as we pointed out earlier in the game, the way the bullpen has struggled this year for the Indians, Cody Allen has gone 6 games this year with more than 1 inning. That's how much they've had trouble closing out games. 2-2 on Goodrum. And Nico hanging in there, bangs another one back into the seats. Tigers got a leadoff single from Cabrera, a 1-out single by Martinez. Another foul, so Goodrum is really driving up the pitch count now of Bauer.
It's been a really good at-bat by Nico. And Bauer has thrown him everything but the kitchen sink. He's thrown him fastballs, he's thrown him curveballs, cutters, and sliders. He hadn't thrown him a changeup yet.
9th pitch coming up in this at-bat. Low ball 3. Boy, if Goodrum gets on here, this will be a huge at bat in this game. McCann patiently waiting on deck.
That last pitch was a changeup to Goodrum. We had a feeling he might go to that pitch, but he threw it really hard. It was 89 miles an hour. Fastball inside.
Got him. Nico finally goes down in a 10-pitch at bat.
Well, here's all 10 of the pitches to Nico Goodrum, and he went with a changeup on the 9th pitch, and then he came back with a slider on the other side of the plate for the 10th pitch, and this one just had some serious depth on it. Bottom fell out of it at 89 miles an hour. You see the grip.
Pretty nasty right there.
No doubt.
10 strikeouts now for Bauer, 2 gone.
It's the 5th time now that Bauer has had at least 10 strikeouts in a game.
Need a 2-out hit from McCann. Bender drops inside. Bauer in his last start against the Tigers, 8 scoreless, allowing only 4 hits and 10 punchouts. So that is back-to-back games now in which he has struck out 10 Tigers.
Yeah, he didn't walk a batter in that game.
Indians had a staff with 3 17-game winners last year: Kluber, Carrasco, and Bauer. That's off the plate. 2-1.
Yeah,
Pretty good pitchers duel here today.
There's Carrasco.
We miss him this time, don't we?
We do. We will not see him. We'll see Kluber on Sunday. And McCann looks at a strike on the outer edge. 2-2.
There's Corey. He is unbelievable, man. The run that he is on right now.
He's got the Keuchel beard going now.
It's working, man. It is working.
It's been a fairly lengthy conversation going on between Whitson, the home plate umpire, and McCann. On that last pitch, Mac kind of looking down and pleading his case. In the air toward left field, straight at Brantley to retire the side. Tigers threaten, but do not score. They lead 2. We go to the 7th.
Ram. Tigers reliever Zach Reininger had a glorious shaggy head of hair, and as you can see, had is sort of the operative word. He lost a bet to his fellow reliever Alex Wilson about a basketball game, and so not only did they cut off most of, but not all of Reininger's hair, they left a little bit of a ponytail in the back just for grins. And the ponytail hung around through batting practice, and then we're told anyway that between batting practice and the start of the game, that came off. So at least Reininger has that all over look, and maybe he's learned not to make a wager with his fellow reliever.
That is cold, man.
He still has more hair on his head than I do.
We had his mom on Mother's Day, and she talked about just how much he loved his hair. And how much he'd always loved his hair. So I'm surprised that Reininger even bet like that would cause him to cut his hair off.
Got to pay up.
Hey, when you're a rookie in this game, you don't have any leverage.
No, you got to bet. You got to bet something else, Johnny Kane.
I know. Hey, trust me, I value good hair. I value good hair. And I'll say, actually, Reininger had a chance to talk with him yesterday in Boston when he still had the full head of it.
Right.
And the guys were talking to him, Shane Green. They said they wanted him to braid it. So they were talking about different things that he could do to modify it. And then when we walked in today, you can imagine the shock when it was all gone, except for the old rat tail. So we'll get a post-game update, and we'll see if it's all gone now.
That's nasty.
See you later. Encarnacion is out of there. 5 strikeouts now for Fulmer.
Yeah, a few innings ago, Michael Fulmer was throwing a lot of fastballs. He was exerting a lot of energy, but the last 3 innings, he has really calmed down. He is much more under control. He's thrown some outstanding sliders. That last one finished off Encarnacion. Real nice pitch.
Here is Yonder Alonso.
Yonder got the big hit for the Cleveland Indians back in the 4th inning with 2 outs.
But he also ran into the 3rd out after doubling in the run. And who knows how big of an inning it could have been for the Indians. There were 2 outs.
Right.
Tiger certainly benefited from that. Alonso now with 35 RBIs. Signed a 2-year deal with the Tribe in December. Ripped foul. Alonso had a career year last year in terms of home runs. He hit 28 of them, which by far was his career high.
There were 120 guys in the big leagues last year that hit 20 or more home runs. 120.
That's unbelievable, really. Now Fulmer with the 1-2. Two balls, 2 strikes on Alonso. 1 gone here in the 7th. And again, as we documented earlier, the 6th and 7th innings have been the bugaboo of late for Fulmer getting through these frames. Chopped the first foul.
And Michael's still throwing 97 miles an hour. 96 pitches into this contest. He is one of the few in baseball that can maintain that mid-90s fastball through pitch 1 all the way to pitch 100. Not a lot of guys walking around that could boast that. Oh my goodness. 62? 95 and above today?
Is that right?
Maybe I saw that wrong.
No.
But I thought that's what I saw.
62. That's in the air to shallow right field. Castellanos going to back off and play it on 1 hop.
A change up. Yeah, Michael's thrown 62 fastballs. We're being told of the 97 pitches, and they've all been 95 and above.
Fulmer has allowed just his 5th hit of the game. He'll bring up Jason Kipnis. Strikeout in his last at bat, ground out in his first at bat. Kipnis had a pretty good month of May, 15 RBIs in May, turning around a slow start in April. Now the 0-1. 0-2.
Here is our Xfinity high-speed pitch on Michael Fulmer. He has touched 99 miles an hour today. And we've already told you how many fastballs 95 and above. Just about every fastball he's thrown today has had that kind of velocity.
Emergency hack there for Kipnis, and he fouled it away.
Michael out there grunting today.
That is 100 now for Fulmer, whose season high is 112.
Yeah, the 4th inning was the most stressful, and that was the one inning where of those 20 pitches he threw, I bet 18 of them were fastballs.
One and 2 on Kipnis. Fulmer has gone beyond 100 twice. He also did it against Tampa Bay earlier this year. I take it back. It was Texas.
What's the most he's thrown?
A 112, which was 3 starts ago against Minnesota. That was at Target Field. Got him. Strike 3. Top of the zone. Caught him looking. Kipnis thought it was up.
Yeah, that ball had some tailing action to it. Yeah, Kipnis saw the ball inside of the natural cutting action on the last pitch. Allowed it to catch the inside corner for strike 3. Here's all of the pitches. 97, 97, 98. Oh my goodness. 96 for the last one.
Chisenhall now with 2 outs, slaps 1 foul.
You can watch the hitters today and a lot of the swings that they're taking against Michael Fulmer, and that will tell you just how dominant he really has been here today. Just about every left-hander has not been able to catch up with the fastball. A lot of foul balls in foul territory over on the third base side of the diamond. And maybe Fulmer is thinking that this might be his last inning, so he's emptying the tank out there.
Outside now, 2-1. Action in the Tigers bullpen. Lewis Coleman has been good for the Tigers. They've had to deal with injuries out of their bullpen. Alex Wilson and Daniel Stump. Wilson is back. Stump is on the mend. Good pitch, outer edge, 2-2. He curled one in there. Tigers bullpen is still without a left-hander. Everybody in their pen is a righty. Three and two now.
Well, it's looking like Michael's going to do exactly as Ron Gardenhire wanted him to do in the game tonight. He's going to turn the bullpen over to Jimenez and Green. At least they might be the first couple of guys out of the bullpen today in a 1-1 game.
Runner goes on 3-2 and a swing and a miss. Fulmer with an exclamation point, his 7th strikeout of the night. Fans the side here in the 7th inning. Strikeouts of Encarnacion, Kipnis, and Chisenhall. And coming up, the Consumers Energy 7th inning stretch. For Michael Fulmer, 7 strong innings in a 1-1 ball game, and well, it's exactly right what Michael Fulmer needed in this game to get through the 7th, keep his team in the game. Bauer's been pretty good for them too, though.
Yeah, Bauer has been good. Bauer has 10 strikeouts. A lot of his strikeouts have come on that really good breaking ball. Michael Fulmer, he had quite a few strikeouts, as well as Iggy pops up the first fastball. Looks like Jason Kipnis is going to catch the second baseman for 1 out. But I really enjoyed Michael Fulmer today because the one thing that he really had to do, and Ron Gardner, I said as much, somehow, some way he had to push through that 6th inning and the 7th inning, and he was able to do that today. So I was encouraged by the outing today of Michael Fulmer against a really good offensive team.
Yeah, it kind of became more of a mental block than anything else, more mental than physical, according to Gardenhire today. And he pushed through. Now it's up to the offense.
Yeah, he threw pitches at 98 miles an hour in his final frame here today.
Fastball in there at 95 from Bauer. Strike one on Dixon Machado.
And meanwhile, Bauer, he pretty much has matched Michael Fulmer pitch for pitch here this evening, and we knew it would be that way.
Breaking ball grounded foul. Yeah, Bauer's been good. He has struck out 10. He allowed a run in the 1st inning, back-to-back doubles by Martin and Castellanos to start the game, and nothing since. Swing and a miss, and not a very good swing either by Machado. 2 gone. Hey, the 2018 FIFA World Cup is coming to Fox and FS1 with every match live and over 300 hours of coverage. The world's biggest sporting event is just 6 days away. It's only on Fox and FS1.
And Bauer, his career high in strikeouts is 14. He did that on May 30th in 2017 against the Oakland Athletics. He's at 11 here tonight.
He's got Martin twice.
And he's also been able to shut down a Tigers team that plays some outstanding baseball right here at Comerica Park. So Bauer's done nice work tonight.
I'm still astounded at this one stat. 71 fastballs for Fulmer tonight, all 95 and above.
Yeah, that's crazy, isn't it?
Just unreal.
That's crazy.
Martin steps out.
Martin hasn't seen a fastball since he whistled that first fastball he saw of the day down in that right field corner. Change up there.
More bubble gum for Terry Francona. 2-1. It's 100 now for Bauer and a really good ratio. Three and one on Martin. Bauer now with 5 10 strikeout games. That is 3rd most in Major League Baseball. And he's done it twice now against the Tigers this year. Here's the 3-1. Little looper in the air to center field. It's going to drop, base hit. Martin fought it off for a 2-out single.
He finally threw Leonis another fastball.
Here's the 1-800 call Sam. Call of the game. We look at the starters comparison, Rob. This is pretty impressive on both ends.
Yeah, they've both pitched very well today. Bauer's given up 7 hits. Michael just 5. Michael with no walks. Bauer with just 1 walk. Bauer 11 strikeouts. Michael with 7. A couple of Friday night pitchers tonight.
Now a chance for Nicholas Castellanos.
Nicholas loves to hunt the first pitches, whether they're fastballs or breaking balls.
Fouled it back.
Nicholas also has a lot of room in left center field should he get a hanging breaking ball for Bauer. He can split that gap, and Martin can run forever. It's a lot of room in that direction. Center fielder's over on this side of the bag. And Nicholas, his first time up, he doubled on a breaking ball to left field.
Runner goes. No throw. Perez couldn't handle this stolen base.
He rushed. That's what speed will do. That was a perfect pitch for Perez to throw. But the speed of Leonys Martin caused him to rush ever so slightly. And then once the ball gets in the glove, it pops straight out.
Just the third steal of the year for Martin, but more importantly now he is in scoring position.
And that hamstring must be feeling a whole lot better these days.
Here's the 1-1. Bouncing ball foul.
Ooh, Nicholas had a good breaking ball to hit right there.
Didn't he?
And he's such a good breaking ball hitter, but he's even more confident in these situations. In batting average with runners on in the last couple of weeks, 565 for Nicholas.
Tigers have had chances each of the last 2 innings, trying to take advantage here. Swing and a miss. He struck him out, and Trevor Bauer, with his 12th strikeout of the game, Tigers strand a man at second. Tigers baseball tonight presented by Bell Tire.
Power. Michael Fulmer threw 108 pitches today, and 71 of those were fastballs 95 and above. He had his foot on the gas pedal against a very good team. And then when he stopped using the fastball, he went to his other weapons. It could have been the slider, could have been the changeup. But more importantly, Michael was able to push through 7 innings here tonight with his team in a position to win the game. And his manager had, I'm sure, some encouraging words for his ace starting pitcher after his outing today.
So the Indians come up here now in the 8th inning in a 1-1 ball game. Tigers going to the bullpen, and it's going to be Joe Jimenez in a wall side windows pitching change.
And Joe Jimenez got in a little bit of a trouble last night in Beantown in Boston, and then after a visit by the pitching coach, Chris Bosio, he started pumping in fastballs 96, 97, 98, and was able to get out of that jam in the 8th inning that he pitched last night in Boston.
Perez, the catcher, leads off. It'll be 8-9-1 for Cleveland here in the 8th. Checked it, strike called.
A couple of back-to-back really good breaking balls thrown to Perez by Big Joe Jimenez.
Jimenez threw 23 pitches last night in Boston.
Which means he is probably good for one batter here today. I mean, excuse me, 1 inning today.
Perez 0 for 2. Fulmer ends up going 7. 108 pitches. He gives way now to Joe Jimenez. Just outside. Jimenez thought he had strike three. He was walking off the mound. Jimenez allowed 0 earned runs in 13 of his last 14 outings. Swing and a miss. See you later.
Here is Chevrolet's most dependable player, and Jimenez picking up right where he left off last night at Beantown. Bases loaded. He struck out the last 2 batters. Fastballs were up to 97, 98 miles an hour. And that was after the Chris Bosio visit. He went back out there and just overpowered that good Boston Red Sox offense.
And that really turned out to be a big inning for the Tigers as they thwarted what was looking like might be a late inning comeback by the Red Sox. That offense can get on a roll in that ballpark quickly.
Yeah, especially in that yard. Tigers were able to slow J.D. Martinez down. He only got 3 hits in the series. Had 1 big one, but they kind of slowed him down, which was key in helping them win that 1 game yesterday.
Both sides have combined for 20 strikeouts in this game.
Allen has 1 homer this year, and it was a walk-off home run in an extra inning game for Cleveland a couple of weeks ago.
Swing and a miss.
Good pitch. Outstanding arm action on that breaking ball at 83 miles an hour. And you see the grip. Spins it up there nicely. Some nice depth on that 83-mile-per-hour breaking ball. Here comes 97.
Little chopper towards second. Machado has it. Allen is out 2 away. Now we'll go to the top of the order. It's Lindor. They've kept him quiet tonight. He is 0 for 3. Ball 1. Jimenez recently earned his first major league save. That was on Saturday against Toronto, pitching a perfect 9th inning in place of Shane Green, who is not available that night. And of course, Joe has had plenty of experience closing in the minor leagues. He's a dominant closer in the minors. 1-1 on Lindor. Joe got to the big leagues last year, didn't go as well as he wanted, but he felt that coming into this season was given a lot of confidence by Ron Gardenhire, who pretty much told him early on, you're going to be my 8th inning guy. Get ready. Be ready to pitch in late in games. Lindor waves and misses.
And Joe also helped himself out by spending basically the entire winter in Lakeland, Florida, where the Tigers have spring training, and getting his body in the best possible shape that he could get his body in. Also changed his throwing program.
Got him. Strike 3 in the outside corner. Lindor didn't like it. Another strikeout for Joe Jimenez. Lindor goes down on strikes. And we'll go to the bottom of the 8th. Cabrera, Candelario, and Martinez coming up. Bottom of the 8th inning now here at Comerica Park. It'll be Cabrera, Candelario, and Martinez. 3, 4, and 5 for the Tigers in a 1-1 ball game. A ball game dominated by the pitching in this one. Trevor Bauer going back out to the hill here in the 8th.
Bauer has 12 strikeouts through 7 innings here today, and he's thrown 106 pitches already.
And Bauer has gone 23 of 29 first pitch strikes. And there's a high fly ball to left field. Going to be caught, though. It nestles into the glove of Brantley. 1 gone. How about a Ram pick the stick update tonight? Keats with Leonis has 3. He's the leader here this evening.
Yes.
Keats, nice pick.
He stole Martine from you, didn't he, Mario?
He did, man. I was really upset. I thought, you know what? He's had great numbers against Bauer. I'm just going to snatch him.
You know, I'm not sure you should use that language on text. I'm just saying. I don't know who your provider is, but maybe they should be alerted.
It wasn't too bad. Come on now.
No, it wasn't.
There's a ball outside to Candelario. We'll have all the final totals once the game is complete here on Tigers Live postgame. For Ram pick the stick. Jamer hitting with 1 out, nobody on, a wave and a miss.
And Jamer has struck out his last 2 times against Bauer. But Bauer has punched out a few of the Tigers at least twice here today.
Shane Green in the Tiger bullpen.
He's got Goodrum twice. Candy twice, Castellanos 3 times, Martine twice.
Ground ball first base side for Alonso. He'll take it himself, and Candy is out. It was looking early on in this game like the Tigers were going to solve Bauer, but he has settled in.
Boy, it kind of changed.
Hey, the 2018 Camping World Major League Baseball All-Star Ballot is now open and exclusively online. Make sure your favorite Detroit Tigers are represented on this year's squad by voting at tigers.com/vote. Presented by MasterCard, July 17th, live on Fox. Now with 2 outs, here is Victor Martinez. Yeah, the Tigers had a double from Martine, a double from Castellanos. It was 1-0, 2 batters into the bottom of the first, but that has been it. Indians tied it up with a run in the 4th, RBI double by Yonder Alonso. Pull on the ground to the right side for Lindor. That'll end the inning. Boy, Trevor Bauer absolutely dominant tonight at 1-2-3-8.
We don't know anything really, but we don't know how this game's going to turn out. But regardless of how it does, this is a huge step forward for one Michael Fulmer, to the Tigers' great delight.
Oh, no question about that, Keats. He looked really good today. He looked like the Michael Fulmer vote, had his foot on the gas pedal, guys. 95, 96, 97, both sides of the plate. But there was one pitch in particular that I really liked that he started to use. I'll tell you what it was on the postgame show.
All right, and the upside of tonight's game might be that we might have seen the last of Trevor Bauer tonight, Mario.
Well, here is Shane Green. He'll take over Keats now as we go to the top of the ninth and the wall side windows change.
We got to provide Seaborn with a clutch moment so he can do his pregame and postgame stuff tonight.
Well, stay tuned. Hopefully we'll do just that.
Yeah.
Michael Brantley leads it off against Green. Bauer has been dominant. Fulmer was great as well tonight. And Brantley pops it up.
Thank you very much.
Third base side for Candelario, drifting, and one gone. One dangerous hitter dispatched. This Sunday, the Tigers conclude their series with the Indians at 110. Sunday, Kinsey. All kids 14 and under receive a free Detroit Tigers coin bank. If you'd like tickets, call 866-66-TIGERS, Tigers.com.
Torrey Hunter today. The people from Comerica Park, Comerica Bank kind of sponsored the luncheon today. And they told Torrey that they had a nice gift for him. And Torrey said, "What do you got? A checking account?"
Oh, man.
He was on one today, man. He was so funny.
Can only imagine.
God.
Jose Ramirez, the batter. He has been held hitless in this game, 0 for 3. 2-0 on Ramirez. Encarnacion waiting on deck. Ramirez hit a bullet to Cabrera at first base in his last at bat, and Miggy is guarding the line down at first.
And Ramirez had one of the greatest seasons in Cleveland history for an offensive player last year. And he and Grady Sizemore scored over 100 runs, had over 50 doubles, over 25 home runs, and over 15 steals. Only 2 players in their history have done that.
He green lighted him on 3-0.
Finished third in the MVP voting last year, and behind Mike Trout and Aaron Judge. Altuve, excuse me. Judge was on that list too, wasn't he?
He
Fourth,
was
I
number
think.
2. Nope. Yeah, it was Altuve, Judge, and then Ramirez.
Oh yeah, Trout was hurt last year.
Yeah. Uh-oh. Down the right field line, hooking, and foul.
Trout gets so many MVPs, I just took for granted it was his.
He's always in the conversation.
Yeah, he was.
He ended up way foul, but boy, for a second there. 3-2 on Ramirez. Ooh. Pretty close. He draws a one-out walk. Here is the upcoming pitching matchup presented by Wallside Windows. It's going to be Mike Clevenger tomorrow and Mike Fiers.
Yeah, Clevenger's a pretty good pitcher as well. Yeah, he checks in 4-2. He has 64 strikeouts. And Mike Fiers, all he has done every single time he's gone out there this year is give the team a legitimate chance to win. He has 5 wins. He's lost 3 games.
Here is Encarnacion, and he looks at ball 1 high. One-out walk to Ramirez here in the 9th. Encarnacion has scored the only run for the Indians this evening. Dangerous bat, 16 homers.
And then Tigers came into play tonight, trailing the Cleveland Indians by 4 games in the American League Central.
Spins one in there for a strike, 1-1. Encarnacion has hit at least 30 home runs in 6 consecutive years. Had a lot of really good years with Toronto before signing with the Indians.
He's going to do it again this year. He's already got 16.
Low ball 2. There is Cody Allen in case the Indians score a run, their closer.
He might be coming in, Mario, even if they don't score a run.
Yeah, I think you're probably right.
And that's not usually what managers do when they're on the road.
2-1 is popped up. Second base for Machado. 2 gone. Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is brought to you by Comerica Bank. Raise your expectations of what a bank can be. Come to Comerica. Your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Visit ChevyDetroit.com. See why Chevy drives the Motor City. And by Wallside Windows, we can do that. We are the factory. Great ceremony before the game today. Torrey Hunter in the house celebrating Negro Leagues weekend. They had the passing of the bat ceremony before the game today, which Rod, you had a chance to take part in again.
Yeah, it's always nice to get on the field and pass the bat. Negro League weekend has turned out to be a real nice event put on here by the Tigers.
Here is Yonder Alonso now with 2 outs. Ball 1. Ramirez down at first has 7 swipes this year and 9 tries. He represents the go-ahead run in a 1-1 game. Just looking at Bauer, he has thrown 113 pitches. And you got Cody Allen warming up. Here's the 1-0. 2-0 the count. You think Bauer might come out for the 9th?
How many pitches?
1-1-3.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
I don't think so. It looks like he's in chill mode now. But as I was saying, though, most managers, though, on the road will not put their closer in a game, because who will close the game if, you know, the closer doesn't get it done at that particular time?
Fouled away.
But they had an off day yesterday. It did the Indians.
Indians have not had a plate appearance with a man in scoring position today.
There's Terry Francona and his bench coach. And not only is he the bench coach, he's also his best friend. And that would be Brad Mills. They also played collegiate ball together at the University of Arizona. Francona was the Golden Spikes winner the year that he left college. Tigers have a couple of recently drafted young players that might get a Golden Spikes award. And Cody Clemens, the number 2 pick, or number 3 pick, right? Cody was 2 or 3? 3. And then you had Mize also, a part of the 4 that might get the Golden Spikes award.
3-1. Runner bluffing, ground ball, foul. Full count now on Alonso.
That's quite an honor. I mean, a couple of drafted players, both guys in the running for Golden Spikes, which kind of gives you an idea that both guys are really good players.
Tigers, I know, very excited about their draft.
I'd say Clemens is a good all-around player. Plays some second, plays some third, plays with some tenacity. Hit 21 home runs, got power.
Runner will go here on 3-2. And it's drilled toward right center field. It's down a base hit. Ramirez coming to third base. Getting it back in quickly. They're going to hold him at third. Now he's hung between third and home, but Ramirez will get back, and Alonso will get the second.
Mike Sarbaugh is the third base coach, and he was telling Ramirez to go home. And then finally, once Ramirez got there, he stopped him. So Ramirez got caught in no man's land. The ball was thrown home, and that allowed Ramirez to get back to third. And not only did it allow him to get back to third, but it also allowed Alonso to get to second base. Looked like Mike Sarbaugh slipped too as he was trying to get back into position to tell Ramirez what to do there.
So now it's second and third with 2 outs. And here is Kipnis.
If Dixon Machado could do it all over again, what he would simply do is, as Ramirez was in a rundown situation, start to run toward him to see if he would stay there, and then you make the move as to trying to get the ball where you needed to get the ball to try to get that out.
Kipnis 0 for 3. Ball 1. Martin was able to get to that ball quickly and get it back in, holding Ramirez at third. Kipnis drives one in the air to right field. That ball is hit well. Castellanos going back. He looks up, and Kipnis has hit it out.
No way.
A 3-run shot with 2 outs here in the 9th for Jason Kipnis.
His 4th home run of the year. Looked like a breaking ball, and it was right in the happy zone, the nitro zone of Jason Kipnis.
One of the deepest parts of this ballpark.
It will be Cody Allen.
Boy, that's a gut punch.
Wasn't it, though?
4-1 Cleveland. Kipnis all smiles. So is the Indians bench. And they lead by 3. There's a ball outside to Chisenhall.
All got going with that base on balls. It's a kiss of death.
Off the bat, I didn't think that had enough to get out. I thought it might go off the wall, but not get out.
It did not appear that way to me either, but when I saw Castellanos start to pull up, and then I saw that ball travel about 10 rows back.
In the air to center field for Martin. Leonis runs it down, and that will end the inning. But a big 3-run shot by Jason Kipnis has given the Tribe their first lead of the night. We'll go to the bottom of the 9th.
big play of the game. Yeah, breaking ball at 82 miles an hour right in the nitro zone of the second baseman, Jason Kipnis, with a couple of runners aboard. And he hits it 410 feet from home plate with a 31-degree launch angle.
3-run shot makes it 4-1 Cleveland as we go to the bottom of the 9th inning, and Nico Goodrum will come on to lead things off here, and the Tigers will face the closer now of the Indians.
Yeah, just got to get a couple of runners on.
Cody Allen will face Goodrum, McCann, Iglesias. First one is high and away, 1-0. Last appearance a couple of days ago on the 6th. As you look at the wall side windows numbers on Allen, 1 1/3 in that game, struck out 3.
11 of 12 in save opportunities this year for Cody. He has had to shoulder a lot of the load at the back end of that bullpen this year with Andrew Miller missing some time, landing himself on the disabled list a couple different times.
2-1. Miller was throwing here at the ballpark before the game today, but they say he'll probably have to go on a rehab stint. So he is a little ways away from returning with his knee problems. Nico had a rip, fouled it back.
Yeah, good cut at 95.
Well, fans of Tigers and Indians continue tomorrow night with game 2 in the series. All your game coverage begins with Tigers Live at 3 right here on Fox Sports Detroit. 2-2. Mike Fiers will be on the hill tomorrow. Nico takes high and away, 3-2. And he walked in, ball 4. Leadoff man is on.
Yeah, that's what started the rally for the Indians in the top half of this frame, a walk.
We'll bring up James McCann. Mack tonight is 0 for 3, 2 fly balls and a strikeout. Those at bats came against Trevor Bauer, who struck out 12 in this game. Both Bauer and Fulmer were terrific tonight. Way high, 1-0 on Mack. Trying to get the rally goose going out there.
It's only the first mound visit of the evening by the Tribe. That's how good Trevor Bauer was today. Cody Allen struggling with his command through the first 7 pitches of this inning. 5 have missed the strike zone of the 7. Let's see if he goes to a breaking ball here. A lot of times when a pitcher's having a little bit of a difficult time commanding the fastball, the catcher will call for one of the field pitches. In this case, it will be a curveball for Cody Allen.
Came back with a heater and threw a strike.
94 with that fastball.
Fouled away now, 1-2. You got Iglesias, then Machado would be due up. Tigers sent down Ronnie Rodriguez a couple of days ago, so they are operating with a 3-man bench. Jones, Hicks, and Reyes on their bench.
Yeah, Ron Gardenhire said they just needed another pitcher. And he doesn't pinch hit all that often anyway, so they can operate with a 3-man bench.
Now the 1-2. Swing and a miss. Bender up top, swung right through it.
Cody Allen can spin the baseball pretty good himself, although that one was up at the top of the strike zone. And McCann could not get on top of it. He swung right underneath it.
Now Iglesias, who had a double in his first at bat, 1 for 3. Ball 1. Iglesias now is up to 262. Up high, 2-0.
Tigers do have some pop on their bench. They have John Hicks.
He's coming out.
Yep, that's what I thought.
With Machado due next. Iglesias up now and Hicks on deck. Here's the 2-0 pitch, showing bunt, looks at a strike.
Hicks got a big hit yesterday in the first inning. Fastball inside, hit it the other way, drove in a couple of big runs.
Tigers, after being thwarted in the first 2 games of the series offensively, scored 5 in the first last night at Boston.
That was big for Matthew Boyd. It allowed him to settle in.
Fouled away.
Iggy might have swung at ball 3. That ball might have been a little up.
Tiger pinch hitters this year, 2 for 20 with the Hicks on deck. He will pinch hit.
It is probably one of the hardest things to do in sports, pinch hit.
Now the 2-2. Right back off the mound and off of Allen, who throws to first for the out. A bullet off the bat of Iglesias.
Sounded like it got him in the shoe.
Allen able to keep his wits about him. And they'll come and look at him.
Yep, right off the shoe.
Cody says I'm all right. He'll stay in the game. Well, it appears he's going to get a couple of warm-up pitches, but it doesn't look like he's ailing all that much. Pretty good play by Allen, because a lot of times when you knock a ball down like that with your foot, you tend to rush the throw, but he got it there on the mark. No mound visit. And so with 2 outs and a runner at second, here is the pinch hitter, John Hicks. Hicks at 278, 5 home runs. Did a marvelous job filling in for Miguel Cabrera.
Yes, he did.
In there, a strike called, 0-1. Tigers tonight 1 for 8 with runners in scoring position. Much of that had to do with the dominating effort tonight at Bauer. And unfortunately, the Tigers not able to back up the effort of Michael Fulmer, who was fabulous tonight as well. The 0-1. Swing and a miss, 0-2. If Hicks can reach, it'll bring the tying run to the plate, and that would be Martin on deck. Now the 0-2. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. And Cody Allen nails this one shut for the Indians. Kipnis home run gives them a 4-1 win. Now we send you to the Coliseum Studios. John Keating, Craig Monroe with Tigers Live postgame.
All right, Mario, thank you. Fireworks are coming up. Friday night fireworks here at Comerica Park in Cleveland. They're saying, no thanks, we've already had ours. They might have been able to see the Jason Kipnis home run from across Lake Erie. It broke up a non-pitching duel that was very nice for each team. We'll break it all down for you. Craig Monroe alongside Tigers Live in a moment.